Deep in the desolate stretches of the American Southwest, there is a literal vault of secrets, locked away from the eyes of the world. Today, we're tearing open a classified dossier on a subject that has absolutely haunted the public imagination for generations. We're sticking purely to the documented timeline, the official statements, and the explosive claims surrounding a place defined by absolute, uncompromising secrecy. You know, this isn't just about wild internet rumors. We're talking about a true black site. A place where the roles of reality seem to just blur away beneath the harsh desert sun.
So what if I told you there's a place in America so intensely guarded, so deeply classified that for decades the United States government flat out refused to even acknowledge it existed? Just imagine that for a second. An installation so incredibly vital to national security that its very coordinates were literally erased from public maps. We're talking about an invisible empire hidden right in plain sight. Area 51. Just saying the name carries this heavy, dramatic weight, doesn't it? Hidden deep inside the unforgiving, brutal landscape of the Nevada desert, it's a fortress of shadows. It is a name that instantly conjures up images of massive cover-ups, clandestine operations, and the terrifying unknown. For us, it stands as the ultimate symbol of what we are strictly not allowed to see.
For years, officially anyway, this was the base that never was. But it wasn't just some quiet patch of empty sand. It was, and still is, a formidable fortress. We're talking about perimeters ringed by stark warning signs authorizing lethal force and heavily armed guards who operate in total unsettling silence. Locals call them the camo dudes. They patrol the dusty ridges, watching your every single move. And because the government absolutely refused to acknowledge the base, it created this massive, dark void of information. And as we all know, human nature always rushes in to fill the void.
Now what's really interesting about all this is the intense, suffocating secrecy behind it. Why go to such extremes? Well, officially, during the height of the Cold War, this remote location was simply a testing ground for classified military aircraft, like the legendary U-2 spy plane. The military absolutely needed a place where Soviet satellites couldn't easily track their most advanced aerospace engineering. But here is the thing. An impenetrable wall of secrecy breeds something much more powerful than experimental planes. Because when the skies above the desert start lighting up with bizarre, impossible flight patterns, it births unstoppable, wild rumors.
For years, those rumors just sort of simmered in the desert heat. Just a quiet background hum of conspiracy. But then, in the late 1980s, everything completely changed. A man named Bob Lazar stepped right out of the shadows and delivered an absolute shockwave to the American public. Putting his own life and his entire reputation on the line, he went on the record with claims that were nothing short of explosive. He stated very clearly that he worked at a highly hidden facility known as S4, located just a few miles south of Area 51.
And according to Lazar, the US government wasn't just out there studying conventional aviation. No, he claimed they were actively hiding and studying actual alien spacecraft. He said there were 9 disc-shaped vehicles stored in hangars built directly into the side of a mountain. And his exact phrasing? It literally changed the world forever. He said the military was not building them, they were reverse engineering them. In an instant, the entire narrative shifted. Back in the 1950s, it was strictly about Cold War dominance and high-stakes espionage. But after the 1980s, Lazar's story ignited across America like wildfire. Millions of people now genuinely believed Area 51 was a highly secure vault hiding extraterrestrial technology. Was Bob Lazar actually telling the truth? Or was this all some incredibly calculated disinformation campaign? To this day, nobody really knows for sure. But the chain reaction had already begun, cementing this clandestine base permanently into global pop culture. Let's fast forward a bit to the year 2019. This quiet, slow-burning desert mystery completely collided with the massive, chaotic power of the digital age. What started in the shadows transformed into an unprecedented online phenomenon. Driven by social media algorithms and just sheer, unadulterated curiosity, millions of people joined a viral internet gathering with one highly specific, absolutely crazy goal: storm Area 51. Now, the craziest part is that this entire movement was born from a joke. Their rallying cry was as absurd as it was viral. They can't stop all of us. It was a massive testament to how deeply the mythology of the base had penetrated modern society. But then, the internet jokes started bleeding into reality. Thousands of people actually packed their bags, crossed the country, and traveled straight into the unforgiving Nevada desert to see the truth for themselves. They literally stood at the gates of the ultimate secret.
But here's where the story hits a wall.
When those thousands of people finally arrived at the edge of the base, the brutal reality of a live military installation immediately set in. We're talking severe warnings, heavily armed perimeters, military drones watching every move from above. The illusion of a fun, harmless internet raid was met with the cold, hard steel of the United States military. And the final number of civilians who successfully breached the gates? 0. Absolutely no one got inside. The fortress held strong.
Eventually, the crowds went home. The viral dust settled down, and the internet, as it always does, moved on to the next big trend. But that core, burning mystery, it remains completely untouched. As we look at the heavy, uncompromising security that still surrounds this base today, we are forced to ask the exact same question we started with: what is actually happening behind those fences? Just look at the possibilities here. Are they deep inside developing next-generation secret weapons to maintain global dominance in an increasingly dangerous world? Are they testing highly classified experimental aircraft, quietly continuing their Cold War legacy right into the modern era? Or is it really something not from Earth? The absolute truth is locked tightly away in the desert, fiercely guarded by silent sentinels.
So, the dossier remains open, but our evidence violently stops right at the fence line. And maybe we were never supposed to know in the first place. Sometimes the allure of the unknown is actually more powerful than the truth itself. But when you look at the Cold War history, the shocking whistleblower claims, and that relentless, suffocating government secrecy, what do you think is really hidden inside Area 51?